Hey guys, what is going on? SleepingNet77 aka Kyle, and welcome to my trick room. Today we are here with APA Week 2, and we are playing Panther 2 in the Carolina Clefable. As you can see, the two teams are on screen right now. I am bringing Hitmonchan, Necrozma, Klefki, Mega Pidgeot, Sneasel, and Alolan Marowak, as he is bringing big guns. He is bringing Nidoqueen, Clefable, Mew, the Incineroar, Mega Aerodactyl, and Kyurem. So I'm bringing Assault Vest, Hitmonchan, Steelium Z, Necrozma, Light Clay Klefki, Mega Pidgeot obviously, Life Orb Sneasel, and Assault Vest Alolan Marowak. I put Assault Vest on it because I know its special defense isn't the best. So I did kind of want to try and let it take a hit a little bit better. If it does get a little bit louder or there is a bump, I do apologize. But I wanted to take a hit a little bit better, so I didn't put Thick Club on it this week. So let's see if it works out for us or if it is to our detriment. Now, Panther 2, again, as I mentioned in last week's video, the last time him and I played, he 6-0'd me with Beheeyem, but there's no Beheeyem on this team, so we're just going to hop right into the game and see how it turns out for the Montreal 2 Canadiens. You can see, challenged by Panther 2, and he leads Organa, which is the Nidoqueen, and I lead Hitmonchan. And I do have Ice Punch on this, so I do believe I just went for Ice Punch, as he does withdraw and he goes into Mew right off the bat. And yeah, I mean it's a good play. I see here that it is kind of defensive Mew, as I am basically max attack. I know that I can take a hit from this defensive Mew very handily, actually, and I do have Throat Chop. I did want to kind of see how much it would do. If it would take it down low enough, I would have gone for it again, but it does only take it down to half, and he is going to just roost up here, as I do send out the Featherizer, which is the Sneasel, as he does roost up. Now I can knock off here, predicting Incineroar, I could like Poison Jab or something, but I just decided to go for the safe knockoff, to knock off whatever this Incineroar is holding, and it does happen to be an Assault Vest. It does a decent chunk too. I know that Incineroar is not the greatest defensive Pokemon in the world, but please give it Intimidate. It would make it so much better. So I bring in Stone Edge Ink here, as Mega Pidgeot is kind of a good Pokemon to bring in on the Incineroar, but he does U-turn out, and we are back to I forget what he sends in here, I do apologize. He does send in Castiel, which is his Mega Burb, and yeah, his Mega Old Burb defeats my Burb right off the bat. Obviously, I'm switching out here, and I'm going into Klefki, and he's just going to Mega here, and he is actually going to go for the Stone Edge. Obviously, I wasn't staying in here. This felt like kind of a weird play to me. Because he could have gone for EQ, he could have gone for some other things, but the Stone Edge does a decent chunk to me. I know that Aerodactyl's attacks are high, so the Stone Edge does a decent chunk for being resisted, and I am just going to set up a Reflect here. So my defensive is boosted for at least 7 turns, and I am going to switch out here, predicting the Earth Power, and I'm just going to send in the Hitmonchan here. He does set up Toxic Spikes though, which does kind of scare me. It also means that I can't freely switch in with any other Pokemon other than my Mega Pidgeot and Klefki, because obviously Klefki cannot be poisoned. So I'm just going to Ice Punch again, trying to get him to stay in, but unfortunately he doesn't, and I don't get a freeze on the Mew, so I'm definitely going to switch out this time back into Klefki. And he is going to set up a Calm Mind right off the bat, and I'm like, okay, well, I can at least get these Toxic Spikes away. With the Defog, I don't really know what this Mew wants to exactly do to me, and so I just go for the Defog right here. I get these Toxic Spikes out of the way, and he does reveal that he has the Flamethrower, and I'm like, okay then. Nope, he wouldn't Flamethrower over Fire Blast, so he's a man after my own heart. And at this point, I'm like, well, Klefki can't really do too much else. I can at least try and paralyze it for future Pokemon to see if it will get paralyzed out against them. And if not, well, oh well. Synchronize does go up, obviously, and the Flamethrower does go through the paralysis, and Klefki is down. And I am going to send in Featherizer here because even if it does not get paralyzed, I do a decent chunk with Knockoff if he doesn't want to switch out. He does not switch out. He does reveal that it is his Zmon, but he doesn't get paralyzed again, and the Flamethrower goes through, and obviously Sneasel goes down. So, we're kind of left here. I'm like, well, time to bring in the big gun, and I do bring in Necrozma here. And I'm like, well, if it's going to go down, it's going to go down to an Earth Power, and if he wants to bring anything in, I feel like it's going to be Incineroar, because he did have AV Incineroar for the Necrozma. Obviously, the AV is gone, but the Earth Power just barely doesn't pick up the kill, and my Reflect wears off. Not that it matters, because this thing is going to use Darkness Lariat as I set up the Rock Polish right here. He goes for the Darkness Lariat. And it does a little bit more than half to me. I knew it obviously wasn't going to kill me. It does about 105 damage, so it does a decent chunk, but the Earth Power going off, the Incineroar is going to go down. The Mew obviously cannot outspeed me. He is going to send out Mogwai here, which is the Kyurem. I'm like, great. If he had brought in Clefable here, I would have been much happier, because I would have been much happier wasting my Z move on Clefable to get rid of it. But I obviously don't want Necrozma to go down yet, so I'm just going to waste the Z move here. It is a Corkscrew Crash, and it is going to take out the Kyurem in one shot. So Necrozma's on 2 kills right now, and next turn he does actually bring in the Clefable, which I was hoping for before, but I do pop out the Z move, so he kind of safely bring it in. If it is especially defensive, it does take less than half, but since it is defensive, it does a little bit more than half. And I do get the special defense drop, the 10% special defense drop. So on his Calm Mind, this Calm Mind doesn't matter because it puts him back up at neutral to special defense. And if I wanted to, I could Flash Cannon again and take him out on this next turn, which obviously he doesn't want. So he is just going to withdraw here and sacrifice his Mew to send in the Mega Aerodactyl. So Mew goes down to Flash Cannon, and Mega Aerodactyl does come in. Now, if this Mega Aerodactyl comes in and doesn't hit Stone Edge, then he is in an even more heap of trouble than I think that even he imagined. But I do hit the Flash Cannon. It does a little bit more than half, obviously, because it's in Necrozma, and Necrozma is insane. You click Stone Edge does not miss, and Necrozma goes down there. So nice to see that other people can hit Stone Edges, but not me. I think I went like 2 for 4 on or 2 for like ever on Stone Edges in one league I was in. But he does withdraw on the Hitmonchan switch in. I do click Mach Punch, and he does actually click Earth Power here, which I was predicting before on the Klefki, obviously. But it does only like 30 damage due to the AV, and Hitmonchan is decently high special defense, and I do get a crit Ice Punch, so a little bit lucky there. But he is going to send in his Clefable here. He is not going to heal, he's just going to click Moonblast as I send in my Alolan Marowak, and this is kind of where the AV kind of screws me a little bit, because as you're going to see, he is going to heal up here. A special attack drop doesn't matter, obviously, I'm a physical attacker, but he is going to heal here, and I am going to click Flare Blitz just to see like how much damage it does. And obviously you can see he does have Moonlight. He does not have the Soft Boiled. So Flash Can and the Flare Blitz doesn't do half. Now, if I was Thick Club, it would have done half, and knowing that, Flare Blitz and Iron Heads are just going to do about the same amount of damage. So I'm just gonna continuously click Iron Head, maybe hoping for a crit. Spoiler alert, I don't ever get a crit against this Clefable. This Clefable is just going to set up to me to about +3, +4. So he's going to set up heal, and then finally attack me with the Moonblast, which does take out the Alolan Marowak here in 2 hits. Unfortunately, that does mean that since he is at +3, that Mega Pidgeot can't really do too much to it, and that since I don't have Bullet Punch on Hitmonchan, I obviously can't hit it for too much damage. I did do the calcs afterwards. Bullet Punch would have done about 25% max roll, or like medium roll, to this thing. I think it was like 22 to 27 or something, so about a mid roll. It would have taken it down to 25%, and as you're going to see at the end of this this whole setup spam, as I attack with Iron Head again, as you're going to see at the end of this, this Clefable lives with about 25% left on the Mega Pidgeot Hurricane. And it didn't get confused, and it didn't hurt itself. So again, a little bit of luck on his side. The only luck I got on my side was the special defense drop. But you know, that's the game that Pokemon is sometimes. So as you can tell from kind of the tone of my voice, I did end up losing this in a 2-0 due to Clefable Calm Minding on me. Had I again put a Thick Club on my Marowak, I would have won this, but unfortunately, since I didn't have Thick Club, I ended up kind of wasting the victory there. So we do fall to 0-2. We are -5, and next week we play Lynx Forte and the South Florida Booloos. If you do remember, we did play the his Anaheim Mighty. Was it my Anaheim Mighty Ducklets? No, it might have been the Ducklets, but we did play his Anaheim team in the P4G, and Necrozma did a number to him back then. So we're gonna see if maybe we can kind of pull off some similar magic there. But we are getting close to the end of this matchup here. We're just gonna let the video run through just a little bit more. He does click Moonblast here, so this is actually where he decides to attack me. He feels he's had enough setup, so he can attack me. And I'm gonna Iron Head, obviously. He does heal up here. I do get another Iron Head off, but then he does kill me with the Moonblast. I'm looking forward to facing Lynx next week, just because he's a cool dude. Obviously, he was in the P4G, so Kyle likes him. So, you know, it's gonna be a fun match. Obviously, I do want to get a win against him. Obviously, I do want to get a win at all in the winners column, but I feel like, honestly, and nothing against Lynx, obviously, but I feel like my matchup with him is probably my best matchup out of the first 5 that I have, because the following week I play Crimson, and of course the week after that I play A-Drive. So I have a tough starting 5 weeks, unfortunately, but we do actually take him down to the red. I completely forgot about that. He does heal up here, so I do get one more Iron Head off before he does decide to lay waste to Alolan Marowak here. But again, I am looking forward to playing Lynx. I do hope that it is a good matchup, and I do hope, obviously, that it does go in my favor, but I'm just hoping for a good matchup all around. So he is going to Moonblast me here, and finally, the Alolan Marowak goes down. And I do send in the Mega Pidgeot here, the Hurricane. Obviously, I have to go for Hurricane because it is my strongest move. The Hurricane here is going to do a good enough chunk to a +3 Clefable that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm happy with that. But the real thing that kind of screwed me over here was again kind of a little bit of misprep on the Hitmonchan part, as the Moonblast does actually one-shot me. The Hitmonchan did not have Bullet Punch. Again, if I had Bullet Punch, I would have actually taken out this Clefable from this range, and I would have taken out the Mega Aerodactyl easily from the range that it was at, but instead I have to go for Ice Punch. It lives on very low HP, and Moonblast is obviously going to hit and take me out for the 2-0 victory in Panther's favor. But until next time, guys, I am Sleeping Knight 77. I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. If you guys have any advice for me, please leave it in the comments down below. Again, I am Sleeping Knight 77, aka Kyle, and I am going to go to sleep. Good night.